All right. Hello everyone. So this is a recorded lecture on the introduction to biomolecules. Okay. So I'm hoping you are watching this before you answer the quiz, no, that we have on biomolecules. Okay, so I think we can start. So, as an introduction, what is shown here is a picture of the digestive process, right? So, in the digestive process, basically, you are breaking down your food that you eat, right? And when you break down your food, okay, your food contains different biomolecules. You have carbohydrates, you have lipids, you have proteins, and some nucleic acids, all right? And in order for your body to absorb all these biomolecules, they must be broken down first from larger units to smaller units. Okay? And why are these biomolecules important? These biomolecules are important because they provide you with the necessary energy, all right, for you to live. And at the same time, yung mga proteins na nakukuha nyo, no, can be recycled by your body to create proteins that are needed for the functioning of your body. Okay? May mga biomolecules naman tayo such as the carbohydrates. Yung carbohydrates, as we will talk about later, they are mainly responsible for providing the energy, no, in your body. And the energy in the body is in the form of ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. You will learn that eventually in your biochemistry lecture. Okay? This is the chemical form of energy in the body. Okay? So when we talk about biomolecules, all right, these are the different biomolecules that we will be talking about here. So we have carbohydrates, proteins, lipids. Okay, we won't be talking about nucleic acids today. And then we will compare biomolecules and construct glucose molecules. So let's first talk about carbohydrates. No? So when you hear the term carbohydrates, no, some of the things or food that will probably come into your mind, meron tayong bread, no, or tinapay, uh, rice, kanin, or potato, no? Yung mga food that are rich in starch because starch is a carbohydrate, no? In fact, it is a polysaccharide. Okay? Anything that is related to things that you feel or you think has sugar, no? Chocolates, yung mga drinks na iniinom nyo, may mga sugar yan, okay? So they all contain carbohydrates, no? In fact, sugar is another term for carbohydrates, okay? So if you eat a bread, okay, how does our body break down this bread? Okay, so let's look at this figure. Okay, so of course, this is a very simplified version of what is really happening. All right, but basically, okay, you have, let's say, a loaf of bread. Hold on. All right, let's say you have a loaf of bread. Okay, here. And then in the digestive process, now what you do is first you bite the bread, no, and you chew it, you break it down into very, very small pieces as much as possible, no? So magiging crumbs siya, so bread crumbs, right? And these bread crumbs are made up of many polysaccharides, no, which is known as starch. Okay, so ito yung isa sa complex form or polymerized form of your carbohydrates. And from polysaccharides, pwede pa siyang ma-break down further, mapaliit ng mapaliit into disaccharides, which eventually can be broken down further to form your monosaccharide. No? So your monosaccharide is the smallest or simplest form of your sugar. Okay? Ngayon, kung babalik tayo from monosaccharide, pabalik, no? So from monosaccharide, you can link it to another monosaccharide to form your disaccharide. No? And you will learn this in lecture, but what you are actually seeing here, this one, all right? That one is called glycosidic bond. Okay? So you will learn more about that in your lecture. No? Yung glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond is the bond basically that links, all right, your monosaccharides with each other. Okay? It is a covalent bond. And in fact, no, if you remember your organic chemistry, this bond is actually similar to an ether. No, you have an R group connected to oxygen, connected to another R group. No, so it should remind you of an ether. Okay, and if you have many monosaccharides linked together, okay, that is when you have a polysaccharide. Okay, now the process of breaking down your polysaccharide into disaccharide and further into monosaccharide, that process is known as hydrolysis. All right, hydrolysis because the breaking down needs water, no, to aid the process. Okay, hydro water, no, lysis is breaking down. So breaking down with the aid of water. All right, so polysaccharide, as I have mentioned, consists of many units of monosaccharides that are covalently linked together, okay, by glycosidic bonds. Then disaccharide refers to 2 units of monosaccharides, no? And monosaccharide is simply 1 unit um of carbohydrate, no? Yung simplest form of the sugar. Now, in terms of function, no, ang main function ng carbohydrates, among others, no, is to provide energy to the body, no? In fact, the sugars or the carbohydrates are the main source, no, of energy of your body. All right? Although, no, later on we'll talk about lipids. Lipids can also provide energy, but burning lipids is slower or more difficult than burning your carbohydrates. Kaya, kung ang katawan mo nangangailangan na agad ng energy, no, carbohydrates ang common source niya or go-to, no, na source niya of energy. But in addition to providing energy, no, actually your carbohydrates also can provide structural functions. So in your biochemistry lecture, you will be learning about cellulose, about chitin, no? And these are examples of carbohydrates or polysaccharides that provide structural integrity to some organisms or some cells. Okay? All right. So we're done with carbohydrates. Now let's go to lipids, no? So lipids commonly known as fats. All right. So your lipids, no? The common products that we see that are made up of lipids are fats, oils, waxes, and steroids. Okay? But we need to differentiate yung fats versus oils, no? They are both made up of lipids, but they are actually not the same in a sense that fats are solids at room temperature, while oils are liquids at room temperature. Okay? And yung main difference nila, no, or main reason kung bakit ganon ang fats and oils is because of the difference in the presence of saturated versus unsaturated lipids. Okay? Or fatty acids. Okay, fatty acids are lipid biomolecules, no, that are long chains of carboxylic acids. No, remember in your organic chemistry, this C double bond O, OH is a carboxylic acid. Now, if you have a long acyl chain, all right, So this is more commonly known as fatty acid. All right? Similarly, this is a fatty acid. Now, yung difference between saturated and unsaturated, no? I think isa sa mga unang mapapansin nyo is that in a saturated, you don't have any double bonds dito sa acyl chain. Alright? While sa unsaturated, you have a double bond dito sa acyl chain. Alright? This acyl chain, by the way, is hydrophobic, no? Making your whole molecule hydrophobic. No? Kaya yung mga lipids natin, they are hydrophobic. They are insoluble or immiscible in water. Now, going back to the concept of saturated and unsaturated, right? You will notice that the way that your saturated fatty acid is drawn is that the acyl chain is more straight, no? As compared to the unsaturated wherein there is a kink. No? So deliberate yung pag-draw ng kink or parang pagliko, no, nung acyl chain dun sa double bond. Okay? And that's actually the reason why your saturated fatty acids commonly form your fats and unsaturated fatty acids commonly form your oils, no? Sa saturated fatty acids, because they are straight, no? Pag nagsama-sama sila, madali silang mag-pack together. No? They can easily pack together. Alright? Therefore, they will form solids at room temperature kasi mas madaling magkakadikit-dikit yung mga fatty acid molecules. Unlike for unsaturated molecules or fatty acids, for unsaturated fatty acids, pwedeng meron kang lipid na may bend dito, tapos may isa kang lipid na may bend na pa ganito, no? So meron kang extra space dito. Alright? So the packing of your two lipids are not efficient, no? And therefore, they will not form solid at room temperature. Okay? Liquid sila at room temperature. Okay? So yung oils mo, marami silang unsaturated fatty acids. Okay? While your fats has more saturated fatty acids. Okay? Kaya sila solid at room temperature. Now, in addition to that, I would like to add, no? Kasi you might be wondering, bakit tinawag na saturated yung walang double bond? The saturated here refers to the number of hydrogen atoms, no? Because there are no double bonds in the saturated fatty acid, no? All the bonds connected to your carbon, no? Para ma-maintain yung tetravalency ng carbon. Pag sinabi nating tetravalency, it refers to the a property of carbon to form 4 bonds, no? Para ma-maintain yung tetravalency, no, kailangan i-saturate natin yung carbon with hydrogens. Kaya siya saturated, no? Pero kung may double bond ka like this one, all right? To maintain the tetravalency, no? Kailangan mawala yung ibang hydrogen na nakakonect sa kanila. All right? Kasi magkakaroon ka ng double bond. Alright? So, nawawalan ka ng hydrogen, na-unsaturate yung fatty acid mo ng hydrogen. Okay? That is what we mean when we say unsaturated fatty acids. Okay? So, yung nakikita natin ngayon, these are your simple lipids, no? Kasi fatty acid lang siya. We can make it more complex, no? The more complex lipid shown here is a triacyl glycerol. Okay? So nakikita nyo yan sa kapag nagpapa-check up siguro yung parents or guardians ninyo or someone na senior na sinasamahan nyo. No, isa sa mga chine-check sa kanila is yung level ng kanilang triglycerides, no? Or triacyl glycerols. Pareho lang yon. Okay? So basically, itong triacyl glycerol is composed of 3 fatty acids, all right, that are linked or covalently linked to a glycerol. No, yung glycerol is yung portion na highlighted in orange, no? So yan yung glycerol. Ngayon, yung glycerol, originally may tatlong alcohol yan. Originally OH to, OH to, and OH to. Now, when your alcohol reacts with carboxylic acid, you will form an ester. Okay, so you will have an esterified glycerol. Okay, so kapag may tatlong fatty acids linked to your glycerol, ang tawag natin ay triacyl glycerol. Kapag dalawa lang, diacyl glycerol. Kapag isa lang, monoacyl glycerol. No? Pero in our body, the common form is the triacyl glycerol, yung may tatlong fatty acids. Okay? Ito nabanggit ko na kanina, no? So when you have saturated fatty acids linked to your glycerol, most likely yung product mo will be solid at room temperature. Pero kung marami siyang unsaturated fatty acids, most likely you will have a product that is liquid at room temperature, such as your oils. Okay. So, ano ang function ng lipids, no? So, the function of the lipid is mainly to, well, number one, to provide energy as well. Okay, pero as I said, mas mahirap i-break down ang lipids, no? Although, in terms of energy storage, mas malaki ang energy na kayang store ng lipids kaysa sa carbohydrates. Yun nga lang, mas mahirap siyang i-burn. Okay? It is also part of your cell membrane. In fact, it's a large part of your cell membrane. So it provides structure to your cells. It insulates nerve cells, no, in the form of myelin. So kung familiar kayo sa myelin sheath, alright? So yun yung covering nun, alright? Yung myelin, yun yung important na lipid sa myelin sheath. Okay? And then you can also have lipids or fats not to insulate your body and maintain homeostasis, particularly temperature, no, between the surroundings and yourself. Okay? Now, going back to our carbohydrates, how do we break down and how do we form our complex carbohydrates, no? So, in terms of the formation of our carbohydrates, no? What we do is we combine monosaccharides, no, into a more complex one by removing water. Ang tawag sa reaction na yon ay dehydration reaction. Alright, so for example, you have a monosaccharide and another monosaccharide. The result is a disaccharide and you produce water as a product. Okay, so water is being removed. No, kaya ang tawag sa kanya ay dehydration. Alright, nagde-dehydrate, nagre-remove ng water para mag-form ng bond. Ganon din actually sa proteins, no? When you have amino acid and another amino acid to form an amide bond between your carboxylic acid and your amino group or your amine group, okay? Kailangang matanggal tong water na to. Okay? Pag natanggal yung water na yan, okay, you will form a bond between your carbon and your nitrogen. Okay? Now, in terms of breaking down, no? Nabanggit na natin to kanina, the breaking down of your carbohydrates are done via a process called hydrolysis. No? So sa hydrolysis, you now use water, right, to split your more complex carbohydrate. Okay? So baliktad siya. Kung doon sa formation of carbohydrate, you release water. Okay? Sa breakdown naman of carbohydrate, you need water. Okay? Para mag-breakdown siya. Okay? Alright. So, now we will go to the concept of proteins, no? But we will start with the building block of the protein, which is your amino acid. Okay? So this is an amino acid. So what you see here is a carbon at the center. No? And this carbon is commonly a chiral carbon. Okay, it's mostly a chiral carbon. If you remember your organic chemistry, a chiral carbon is connected not to 4 different groups. Okay, so what you see here is your chiral carbon is connected to a hydrogen, to an amino group, to a carboxyl group, and to a variable side chain. Okay, and actually, 19 out of our 20 common amino acids, no, will give you a chiral carbon, no, for your amino acid. Kasi yung isang amino acid na hindi chiral carbon yung mabibigay, no, has hydrogen for this R group. So instead na chiral siya, dahil may hydrogen ka dito, meron ka ng dalawang same groups that are connected to your carbon. So hindi na chiral yung carbon mo. Alright? And that amino acid is actually glycine. Okay? So you learn about that in lecture. Pero the point is 19 out of 20 of the common amino acids, 19 out of 20 of the common amino acids are chiral carbons, no? And therefore your amino acids are usually chiral. Okay? Ayan. Alright, let me remove the annotations first. Saan na yung aking mouse? Ba't di ko na ma-remove? Ayun. Okay? Alright, there we go. So yan, yung in-explain ko kanina, yun na yun. Okay? Now, your amino acids are the building blocks of your protein. Okay? Alright. So, your proteins are mainly found on yung common product siguro na kinokonsume ninyo, meat, alright? And then sa mga nagba-bodybuilding, whey protein, no? Baka familiar kayo dyan, peanut butter, no? And actually, even your foods that are rich in starch also contains proteins, no? Hindi lang ganun kadami, kaya hindi sila common examples, okay? So your proteins are made up of, as I said, amino acids that are linked together via a peptide bond. No? Peptide bond naman yung tawag natin sa covalent linkage between amino acids, no? Forming your polypeptide. Okay, so the monomer is the amino acid, the polymer, no, is called a polypeptide or protein. No? Yun yung isa pang term for that. Okay. So we also already mentioned the monomer amino acids, no? Commonly it contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Depending on the R group, pwede siyang mag-contain ng sulfur. Okay? So you learn that in the lecture. There are 20 common types of amino acids. Alright? Meron kang hydrophobic and hydrophilic ends. The R group can be the R group that we mentioned is variable, all right? And actually, yung identity or yung functional groups no present in the R group, all right, can be acidic, basic or neutral, no? And yung R groups na yon, no, each of the variant of the R group gives you a different amino acid. Okay? So for example, kung ang R group mo is a simple methyl group, then you have the alanine amino acid. If your R group is a carboxylic acid group, okay, na meron dalawang CH2s, then you have a glutamic acid. Alright? You'll see all 20 amino acids probably in your lecture. Now, similar to carbohydrates, no, as we mentioned earlier, okay, when you form bonds or peptide bonds between amino acids, the reaction is a dehydration reaction. So you also release water as a result of forming the peptide bond. Okay, we can determine the sequence of your proteins by looking at the DNA sequence. Now you'll learn about that when you discuss central dogma in your lecture. Okay? And your proteins are three-dimensional and meron silang three-dimensional fold. They fold not to each other para lumiit yung volume nila. Alright? So you fold your your protein to take up less space, no? And actually, very unique yung fold ng mga proteins, all right? And the fold of the protein defines actually the function of the protein. So kailangan proper yung pag-fold ng protein, all right, for it to function properly. Kung hindi siya magfo-fold ng tama, then there is a possibility that it will not function properly. Okay. Personally, no, favorite ko ang proteins because they have a lot of function. Okay? So they provide us with building blocks for life, no? They can act as antigens, no, for recognition. They can combine with DNA to form chromosomes. They can be used to regulate, no, the expression of our genes. They are used as antibodies, no, to fight diseases. They also have structural functions, no, forming fibers. They can act as transporter molecules, no, such as your hemoglobin, which transfers oxygens. Alright? And isa sa mga pag-aaralan niya sa biochem lecture is yung function ng proteins as enzymes, no? So they can speed up chemical reactions. Alright? And hormones din pala, no? So such as insulin. Insulin is a protein. Okay. So what you see here, no, actually is a nucleotide. Now, although we will not be discussing nucleotides or nucleic acids in this introductory lecture, but this molecule is important, no? It's called ATP or adenosine triphosphate, no? So adenosine triphosphate is actually a nucleotide, but it's not just an ordinary nucleotide. It is a special nucleotide in a sense that this nucleotide is the main chemical, no, that provides energy or that provides the chemical energy to your body. Alright, so very important yung adenosine triphosphate. So it is composed of three parts. You have the adenine, alright? You have the sugar, which is which can be deoxyribose or ribose, and you have the triphosphate groups. Okay? Yan. Alright. May nucleic acids pala dito. Sorry, I forgot. Wala siya dun sa aking agenda. Anyway, so meron pala nucleic acids. So let's briefly talk about nucleic acids. No? So it contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Alright? Ang tawag natin sa monomer ay nucleotides. Alright? And as I mentioned, meron siyang tatlong parts. You have the sugar, no? 5-carbon sugar. You have the phosphate group, and you have the nitrogen base. Yung mga nitrogen base na yon, no? Hindi ko alam kung narinig nyo na before sa high school, right? Or in your previous biology courses, no? You have cytosine, guanine, adenine, and thymine. Alright? Your thymine can be replaced by uracil depending on the type of nucleic acid. No? For the DNA, you have thymine. For the RNA, you have uracil. Okay? So these nitrogenous bases can be grouped as either purines or pyrimidines depending on their general structure. Yung mga 6-membered ring fused with a 5-membered ring like this, no, ang tawag natin dito ay mga purines, and then yung 6-membered ring ay mga pyrimidines. Okay? So yung purines mo are consisted of guanine and adenine, while your pyrimidines are thymine, cytosine, and actually uracil. Okay? Actually, yung thymine tsaka uracil pareho lang sila, no? Pero ang pinagkaiba nila sa structure, si uracil wala itong methyl group na to. Okay? So yun yung difference nila in terms of structure. Okay? So in DNA, your cytosine will base pair with guanine. So merong base pairing na nangyayari. Alright? And your adenine will base pair with thymine. While in RNA, your cytosine base pairs with guanine. And dahil wala kang thymine sa RNA, your adenine will base pair with uracil. Now, in terms of the sugars, there are two types of sugars. You have the ribose. It's a 5-carbon sugar shown here. So ribose is found in RNA, while in DNA, deoxyribose, kasi nawawalan ka ng oxygen na connected sa carbon number 2. No? Kaya siya deoxyribose. No? May purpose yan. And having a deoxyribose, no, actually strengthens your DNA. No? It makes it more resistant against hydrolysis. No? You will learn that eventually in your lecture. Okay? Pero yun, no? The deoxygenated nature of the sugar in your DNA provides further structural integrity, no, to the molecule. And then finally, you have the phosphate group, which contains phosphorus and oxygen. Now, ang function ng DNA, no, main function is to make sure that the genetic information of our body or of the organism is stored carefully and properly. All right? And proper storage will allow efficient transmission, no, of genetic information. DNA is commonly found in the nucleus, no? There's also a DNA found in the mitochondria, no? And these DNAs are double-stranded, no? So you have two strands, and the strands are connected by the nitrogenous bases, no? And they follow the base pairing that we mentioned earlier, no? Adenine pairs with thymine, while cytosine pairs with guanine. Now, in contrast, no, you have the ribonucleic acid or RNA. No? So yung RNA or ribonucleic acid, they are single-stranded, no? And they are transcribed from your DNA. No? So from your DNA, gagamiting template para gumawa ng RNA. Your RNA has many functions, no? Pero mainly yung functions nila is for creation of proteins. So you have three types of RNA. You have the mRNA, rRNA, and tRNA. All of them are important RNA molecules, no, for protein synthesis. Now you learn that eventually in lecture. Okay, so we already talked about ATP. ATP stores and releases energy. All right. Okay, so siguro I will end here, no? Kasi yung remaining slides nito are exercises, no, that I prefer to talk about, no, or walk with you in our meeting next week. No? So hopefully mapanood nyo na to before our meeting next week para magawa natin yung exercises ng maayos. Okay? All right, so thank you everyone for watching this video.